This is Mindset by Natalia and welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking about all the things that happened on my 2025 vision board. As you can probably expect, I'm already in the works of making my 2026 one. Honestly, I'm a little behind on the game. I usually do it like right at the beginning, those first few days of the year, but it's going to take me a little bit more to get. It's okay. We still got some things coming up from this one that I need to do first. But I wanted to share with all of you all the things that I accomplished this year, and also kind of like a little video diary for myself, just seeing all the things that I was able to accomplish this year. Every year, I'm just so mesmerized, and I just can't fathom and believe all the things that come true off of the board. So I always, if you don't know, I have a video on making your own vision board, but I like to do separate categories and I group them all together. So I have like my career, my finance, my hobbies, my relationships. Everything is kind of like clustered into its own category. So randomly, let's just start with my physical health for this year. The first picture we have here is this person, me running, which I definitely did towards the beginning of the year. Definitely, probably for like a month or two, kind of consistently ran for honestly the first time in my life. So props that I even did this to start, because it is an intimidating thing for sure. Also, I did end up getting a little hat. It is pink. I know it's not black, but I definitely got it from the inspo of this board for sure. Next one was stretching. Honestly, I feel like I was more into stretching last year, 2024. Definitely again in the beginning of the year, always woke up, like used my yoga mat, just got some good stretches, but something I didn't do as much as I think I would have wanted. Next one was going to fitness classes. This one I definitely did. I got a membership with my gym. I got a membership to be able to do group classes. It was the first time I did like Pilates and a bunch of different exercises like that. So that one was one I felt really great about. Another one was cooking at home. I can't even tell you how much I cooked from home. And where I lived last year for the majority of 2025, I didn't have a kitchen or a stove or anything. So I literally would just use, think like dorm style, like that kind of thing where you're just using your toaster oven for everything. But the meals I whipped up, people can attest. Like, you could not tell. Like, give me a kitchen, this girl's a chef. Like, literally with like half of a kitchen with a kettle and a little toaster oven, I get the job done, trust me. So that was something. I also wanted to get more into like whole foods, healthy eating, which I definitely did. Next one was getting my hiking shoes and going hiking. Okay, I loved hiking in 2024. It was again like the first time I really ever did that. I did not hike once in 2025, I have to be so honest. But I was so close to buying some hiking shoes. I didn't end up doing it because it was literally, I think, the night before I left for Thailand. I was trying to buy these shoes because I was like, well, I'm probably not going to get these shoes. And I didn't end up getting them, but oh well. New era of me, definitely when it comes to health and just perspective, opening my eye on a lot of things. Absolutely. Doing weights, again, there was like, I would say, first half of the year, there was this consistency of doing my exercise classes, going to do workouts, doing runs in the morning. So definitely was a part of it. Something I always crave to do more of though. And then we have, of course, a nice picture of abs here. I definitely feel like I definitely got some tone and some muscle. Not like probably I was like, that's exactly what I want to do this year. But definitely got there. Definitely had some moments where I'm like, okay, in the mirror, for sure, for sure. Next one, so I think that's all of the physical health ones. Oh, I guess there's two more right here. First one is nails. Just having, not even, I'm not like a long nails, getting them done like ever. Like, I'm not a nail girly. But right now they're actually looking pretty nice. Just like the consistency again of just having nice, look, those look pretty darn good. I like it. It's like I just like file them and I maintain them like well. It's my favorite thing to do. Hey, if I had them right now, that's a pretty good sign for the year. Next one, we have meal prepping. Definitely did a lot of meal prepping, like so much and so helpful to just Sundays or Mondays, I would just like bulk do all of my meals, and then I didn't have to worry about it the rest of the day or the rest of the week, which was absolutely great. Definitely was great. Next one was definitely career. Career was probably the biggest thing on my board, actually, if not physical health, but career was a huge, huge one. Here I have so many things with career happen this year. We have my super planned schedules, which is kind of funny because I kind of assumed like when I started working on my own business, like that's when I would see the calendar filled. But funny enough, it's been kind of the second half of the year, like teaching in Thailand, where every day I have like my classes and what I'm doing, what I'm teaching. So definitely saw that. Coach is one I didn't really lean into. I think that with like the personal development stuff that I do, I have obviously heard and like been inclined towards like coaching, lifestyle coaching, all this stuff. I don't really see like, I don't know, I haven't felt like this big calling towards it. Maybe it will happen later, maybe it's just not what's meant to be for me. But definitely explored it more so for sure. And yeah, so that one was one. Next one was starting my Instagram page. It's so funny because I started with the concept that I was going to have a Instagram or like TikTok, whatever page about solo dating, which is wild. Again, like literally here, if you can see this, I like made my little thing that said solo dates. And it's funny because I did start Mindset by Natalia, obviously, but it's like it just became that. Like it wasn't because of solo dates. It was just like I became the brand, if that makes sense. So that was very cool. I'm a successful content creator. Love that one. Love that feeling it. Definitely like had it in so many affirmations, like constantly repeating it over and over and over again. Yes. And honestly, I feel like the consistency that I pulled this year is what makes me feel fulfilled and happy and feel like I was a successful content creator because yeah, it's something I really, really strived for, and I know that I did an amazing job with this year. Next one, we had my first book deal. Okay, this one didn't happen. We're totally moving this one on to next year because, yeah, I'm just in a mood. Fun fact, little insider note. I have this dream of, well, definitely like becoming an author. I'm definitely going to be writing some books, like multiple. But I have this like vision of spending like 3 months in Ireland and writing my book there. Like kind of like living in the countryside, living like just by the water and stuff, like very slow living, and just like completely focus my time on writing my book, which is, I love that. So that one didn't happen, but love that the encouragement has been there since now. We'll look back one day and realize it happened. Next one was a journal. And I wasn't really sure what I wanted with this. I guess my idea was to create a journal, which, fun fact, I did too. I literally created my own quiz to start to help you identify your limiting beliefs. And then from that, I created a workbook. They came out at the same time. And the workbook helps you actually dive into how to rewire these limiting beliefs that you have. So we had the four main ones. We had, oh my goodness, there were so many. No, not so many of them, but there was the invisible one, the hard worker, the scarcity believer, and what was the last one? The, my goodness, I can't think of it. I'm gonna put it up. You guys know what I'm talking about. Been raving about them for forever, so that was an awesome one that came true, and it is a digital workbook. But something that, again, happened from my board that I just didn't know how it was going to happen at the beginning of the year. I literally couldn't fathom it. Mind you, I didn't even start my YouTube channel until March of 2025. And in, like, before I even started anything, I was like, yeah, I'm going to write a journal. I don't know how things happen. Next one was, like, being in a boardroom. If you can tell this one. Being, like, giving like a workshop. This is something I really feel called to and I really want to step into next year. Didn't really happen this year as much as I wanted it to. Same with this one. Like actually giving classes and courses online. Not exactly how I ended up wanting it, but I feel very called to do the workshops still. Bring those forward to next year. And then we had some material things. My iPhone, which I definitely got, my new iPhone. So funny. I was manifesting the iPhone 16, and then I got a 15 Pro, and then I ended up looking at my picture and realizing this is a 15 Pro. That happens to me all the time in my vision board where like I have an idea like, yeah, I'm going to put this down. But then it's different like in my head as what I put down on my journal and what not my journal, on my vision board, and what happens on my vision board is what ends up manifesting actually. So it's a funny thing. I also freaking got my MacBook this year. Brand new MacBook, never had any like computer Mac, nothing of the sort. Always did like HP and stuff. And that was such a big investment. Honestly, I like don't know how I could have continued to do my business and stuff without it. Absolutely essential, changed everything, has made things so much better. Like such an amazing investment. I can't believe, and I think that the phone and the computer were the things that I was most like, I don't know how that's gonna happen. Like, I don't know how that money's gonna turn out, but it just turns up. It just happens. Again, priorities come true. Next one, we have 111,000 followers, which I think was meant for like Instagram, TikTok, social media, and then 10,000 subscribers, which was definitely more so for YouTube. I did not hit these big numbers this year. Again, we'll have to reevaluate and see what I actually want to put in there. But as funny as it is, I did see 111, like 111 on both Instagram and on YouTube. So that was a big moment of like, interesting. Like, my brain didn't totally register the K, like the extra 000s, but definitely did see the number. Like, I definitely did see it. So that was very exciting. And then, of course, actually starting my YouTube channel. That was a huge one. Again, I didn't start until March, which is just wild. And if you don't know, since March, the first day that I posted, every single day for the rest of the year, or every single week for the rest of the year, I had a video come out on Friday at 9 a.m. Every single week, not one week to fail. And I can tell you there were days where like I had no storage. There was no way to upload it. I like was crying trying to figure it out, and every single day or every single week I ended up showing up like that. And I also did a bunch of videos in between, but that was just like the consistency of where I told myself I was going to do. 100% did it, which is funny because it's not even on here. It's just like the consistency that I was in my brain, that I was like, yep, it's determined, that's what I'm doing. Let's go maybe to finances next. So the next one we did, let's go with credit card. I did end up getting a new credit card this year, which is so exciting. I got a travel credit card for the first time ever. Got so many points from it, from like registering it, spending money. Something I really wanted to do, just take more control over my finances, just understand more. And I think that that might have been my biggest transformation this past year, is the knowledge I gained on financial literacy. Like, I feel like a weapon now. Like, I feel so intelligent when it comes to money and investing and saving and stocks. And like before, like I promise you, I did not, like, I remember being in the 8th grade maybe, and my teacher and stuff talking about the stock market, and I was like, what is that? Like, I did not learn this stuff growing up at all. I didn't learn it in high school. I didn't learn it for my family. I didn't even learn it in college. I mean, I didn't really go into any of the math, finance, business realms anyway, but this was like what I ended up learning because I knew that it was so important for me to take just charge of all of my financial stuff. So that's very exciting. Along with that, I ended up putting this little list, which, I mean, it's small so you can't see it, but every single month this year, I dedicated one financial topic, and I would run through like 20 to 30 videos on YouTube, just learning about different aspects of that category. So some of the ones I had, I'll just read: real estate, investing in the stock market, investing in businesses, budgeting money, accountant, bookkeeping, taxes, health insurance, retirement plans, social security, global payments, like if I live in another country, buying property in another country. It wasn't like I changed them a little bit, but got through so many of these. I didn't end up doing 2 months worth. So that was definitely something that's moving over to next year. And I read a lot of financial literacy books too. The one I'm reading right now is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'd heard about it for forever. I'm sure you've heard about it. Read it. It's talk about probably like one of the first books in my life that has made me like literally by reading it, I feel like I'm getting smarter. Like as like real time feeling like I'm getting smarter as I read it. Just so much more knowledge on financial literacy. Next one was bank numbers that I wanted to see for sure. It's kind of funny because now that I live in Thailand and I get paid in baht and all of that, it's kind of funny just how sometimes like when you put a number, like I want to make $1,000,000, I want this, I want that, you have to be so specific with the universe about like in what currency do you want to make this. It's funny how like in one currency $1,000,000 is like what, in another currency $1,000,000 is like, oh yeah, like yeah, you have that, like that's a normal salary, you know what I mean? It's just funny to see that. Definitely things I'm continuing to work on throughout this year. Another one, money flows to me, a nice little quote. Definitely did some affirmations and thought a lot about that one. Next one was budgeting. Budgeting was the first thing I really learned about this year with my financial literacy classes. And that one was really, really helpful. Just like setting the basis of financial literacy and knowing like just physically and literally seeing your money. And it's funny because at the beginning of the year, I tried to make my own sheet like this one. Like you can definitely tell like, you know, someone made that. And then I wasn't really liking it. So I ended up just paying for one that I found online. This other creator that had posted like, oh, hey, like I'm working with this brand, use my code type of thing. And this is where it just, my mind explodes a little bit every time because when I did this, like when I ended up getting, you know, my budgeting sheet, I ended up collaborating with this team later on in the year. Like, are we hearing that? Like, I went from, oh yeah, I'm gonna purchase this. This is gonna be helpful to creating my own business, starting all of my social media endeavors, and then I ended up partnering with the brand. What? It was unbelievable. So I'll definitely leave my code down below if you're interested in the actual sheet that I ended up using for budgeting this entire year. Honestly, budgeting, I was so on it all year. Honestly, just when I came to Thailand is when I like peaked a little because here it's much more like using cash and obviously different currency. So that was definitely difficult to manage, like that transition of different currencies and stuff. But I was religious. Every single Friday, I would go in and I would plug numbers. What's coming out? What's going in? What are my expenses? Everything. So that was unbelievable for sure. Then I have a little EU flag. There were some talks in my family about maybe gaining nationality from Spain because we do have some. I do have a great grandfather that was from Spain, and yeah, honestly, not too much to report there. But hey, someday maybe I'll just become a resident. That would be amazing. What else? What else? What else? Okay, what else? Let's go up here. One who uses their talents and gifts to serve others. That was a quote I put up, and it's funny because I wrote this thinking that was going to mean like I wanted to volunteer a lot more this year, which I didn't end up doing that much, like not what I expected, but I ended up realizing all of my career stuff, all of my social media stuff ended up being this, someone who's using their talents, like the knowledge that they have, and gifts to help other people. So I love how that ended up kind of working out. These were two like outfit examples of just outfits that I wanted to get. I did end up getting these. Actually, oh my gosh. Literally this past week I got a shirt that looks exactly like this white one. And I did not realize it until this moment. This is how vision boards work, my friends. It's the best thing in the world. All right, what's next? Next we had some like beauty and stuff. So a little haircut with bangs. I did do that being in Thailand. I didn't get it as short as this person. I was gonna like maybe do a bob. It's definitely not a bob, but definitely got the bangs. Here we have someone that's sleeping with an eye mask, which I did so much this year. Like helped me sleep a lot. And then here we have a alarm clock that says 6 a.m. And I was like, again, most of the year I did not follow that, but when I got to Thailand and I started teaching here, yep, I was getting up at 6:30, so that's what I've been doing, or a little before that. So funny, again, you never know how things are going to end up turning up. This one, I've had like this big thing of wanting to have like very good hair, like just taking care of my hair more. Something I really want to step into again this year. I think I've had it literally on like the last 3 years of my vision boards because it's big, but I never like prioritize it as much as I want to. But just like a nice clip, a nice little hairstyle, you know, just taking good care of your hair. So that was all great. Next, we have, maybe let's go into hobbies. So I have this H right here, you might be wondering. It is a sweater. So I started knitting a sweater last year. I got like the whole front part, but then it's funny, I started so strong with it, and then I didn't end up finishing like the back of it. But I am determined to make a Harry Potter sweater. But it's gonna have an N for Natalia, obviously. But I am still on the works of that, and I did do so much of it this year. Next one was flamenco. That was honestly not a huge priority this year, which definitely showed. Definitely probably the least I've been to classes or been consistently with it. Wasn't in any shows or anything, but I was in a tablao earlier in the year, so that's kind of what I count as this one, which is silly. What else? We have a little paint and like kind of like a, what is that called? I literally want to say rotisserie, and that is so wrong. Charcuterie. Oh my gosh. A little painting and charcuterie. I didn't do as many solo dates. I think that's what that was supposed to represent. I did not do anywhere near as many solo dates as I did last year. You guys know that I did 52 solo dates last year. Every week, kind of. That was the deal. Next one was pottery. I had never in my life done pottery, and that was a big goal. And yeah, I registered in pottery classes for the whole first semester of the year, and it was amazing. I learned so much, literally from zero knowledge to actually making my own things. I made some little like planters and little like little cups and stuff. That was such a gift to just be able to see, like, again, how art is transformed and how you make it with your hands. So freaking cool. Another one on here was this one, which is like a concert, if you can tell. You can just see a bunch of phones in the air with a lot of sprinklers. And I, like, even in the month of December, I was like, I have no plans to go to a concert. I don't know how this is going to show up. Friends, I ended up going to Bangkok for New Year's this year. And there was a moment in the crowd, we're counting down to New Year's, like sparkles and funfetti split out. Everyone's on their phone, and I literally get a picture like this. Again, the things that happen and how they happen, it's wild. It's wild how vision boards come true. Next one, I have, what else can I show you guys? I have some books here in the corner. I have 3 books. It was my goal to read 12 books this year, one book a month. There's been other years where it's been my top priority, and I read like 30 plus books. This year, I think I ended up reading around 10, I want to say, which I'm totally fine with. This next year, honestly, it's not going to be a priority, which is weird to say because every single year, like, my books are my thing. Like, I am ready to read, but I actually don't think it's going to be a priority for 2026. I'm more in like the let's use all the knowledge I've gained and actually output rather than just keep taking in information. Next one, okay, let's speed this up for sure. Next one was this photo, which is a couch in like a journal. This is supposed to signify therapy, which I did get back into therapy, I think from December of 2024. So I did therapy up until I left for Thailand. So good, like 8 months. Helped so much. Really loved my therapist this time around. Amazing. We did a lot of EMDR work, and one of the ones we did was I'm Worthy, so that's when that one came in. If you guys don't know about EMDR therapy, by the way, I have a little quick video on it. best therapy I've ever used in my life. I've suggested it to friends. They've done it, changing their lives. Like, if you have some heavy stuff you need to get through, try EMDR therapy. Just research it, just look at it. Life-changing for sure. Then we have a little spa picture, which I definitely did a lot of spa moments and like skincare and just like taking care of myself. That would definitely happen. We have a little retreat here, like a meditation retreat type of thing. Didn't end up happening, but I don't know, maybe in the future. Then I have my different cycles of different, I'll show you, different cycles. We have our luteal phase, our menstrual, follicular, and of course our ovulatory phase. That was something I really fell into this year after I read the book In the Flow. Fantastic if you want to learn more about female anatomy and just like health when it comes to like your period and all of that, menstruating. Absolutely recommend it. Then we have some meditation. Definitely did do something I'm absolutely prioritizing for the next year though. Way more than I have in the past. And then we have a little sign here that says the Effortless AF Academy, which this is from a creator. Her name is Ishpreet K, and she's an amazing creator. I've followed her for several years now. She's known very much for like her meditations. She has some great ones online, and she actually has a school, like a little academy online, and I registered and I used it all year long. Definitely, again, was probably the most consistent the first half of the year. Just so much information. And I know that she just ended up changing like the subscription service or like expanded it in some way. But that was something I was so happy that I actually invested in actually purchasing and learned so much from it. Like, amazing. Shadow work and quantum physics, all of that stuff. Absolutely great if you guys are interested. What else is on here? All right, next up, okay, we have two more, promise. Two more categories. We have we have relationships. So relationships were a big one I wanted to focus on, but again, I feel like I haven't given relationships as much of an emphasis as I wanted to in the past year, so I'm glad I did a little more focus on that. I have a little baby on the top of this picture, which is supposed to signify my nieces, which is funny because I printed this picture. I want to say like the day of, I got this picture, and I think the next day I ended up finding out that my sister was actually expecting twins rather than one. That's why I have just one baby on here. Obviously, I don't know, at that point I wasn't gonna like change the picture to add two, but very sweet. And kind of without knowing it, I put this little bow right here, this pink bow that said "in my soft feminine era," which definitely stepped into so much more this year, which I'm so grateful for. I've definitely been stuck in a lot of my masculine energy for a very long time, and seeing me just transition and just have more of that faith and intuition, oh my god, connecting with my feminine energy has been the most restorative thing ever. Brilliant. But I just think it's funny because we didn't know the gender of the babies until they were born. So I just think it's kind of funny that I put this little pink bow right next to the baby without even knowing that they were going to be girls. So that was so sweet. Then we have a picture of a couple right here, like in an apartment, which my boyfriend did end up getting his first apartment, which is so exciting. And we have some fresh flowers and just like a nice kiss, and so sweet. So that we definitely experienced moments like that in his apartment this past year. Next one I wanted to host like a dinner party. That's something I have like a big love for, hosting and cooking, and I just love stuff like that. It makes me feel so like homey and like I'm taking care of everyone. Like I really like it. And for my birthday this year, I actually ended up doing a dinner party, which it was wild. Everything was made from scratch. Like I'm talking butter made from scratch. Like everything. We did end up buying my cake, but everything, we did like different courses. And it was like a whole Italian dinner theme, different pastas and meats and different wines. It was fabulous. Honestly, it makes me crave it so much right now. And all of my best friends were there to support me, which was obviously so freaking beautiful. Just checking. So freaking beautiful, seeing all of them. Honestly, it was funny because I was so overwhelmed those days, like coming up to my birthday. I had weddings, I had graduations, I had my birthday. The twins were born right, like literally the day before my birthday, and by the time I showed up here, like, and I just like had cooked for everyone all day that evening, I just spent like an hour crying while my all of my girlfriends are downstairs, and I'm just like, I'm sorry guys, there's just so much emotion that's been pent up, but I wanted to be vulnerable about that. Like, it's not always picture perfect and everything. It was great, and I have the best memories of it, but just sharing the reality of life sometimes too. Then we have some girlfriends meeting up for like a little brunch. Definitely did a lot of those, honestly, throughout the entire year with different groups of people, which was awesome. And then we have a picture of like a big group of friends hugging right here. That was honestly what I attribute to all my friends that I met in Thailand. Definitely the vibe that they all give me. All of my teacher coworkers and friends I met through orientation, all the things. That's what I definitely feel. I feel like I've been so guarded for friendships for very many years, and I feel like this year was the first time I really stepped into it, even though it was scary, and I really started to put my guard down when it came to friends, and it's been so rewarding. So just a reminder for sure. Then we have a picture of boyfriend and I in Paris right here, which we didn't do. There were so many plans. We were so close to doing it, but fun fact, coming in 2026. Try to stop me, can't. So that was great. Then we have a picture right here. This is all my travel section. Last one. We have Dia de Muertos here. It's celebrated in Mexico, which I didn't end up going for the day of because I actually left for Thailand before that. But I did go to a wedding in Mexico in October for my cousin's wedding, and I ended up seeing a lot of decorations for Dia de Muertos. So again, like a sneaky little way of the universe showing up in ways where maybe you just didn't expect it to be that way. I have a picture of Boston here, Boston, Massachusetts. Have not visited my friend that lives there yet, but again, determined in 2026. Absolutely. I have a picture of Mesa Verde right here, which is like a beautiful national park in the States, and didn't go. Still want to go at some point, but I did end up seeing this huge painting of it in an airport, which again, it was like not where I expected to see this picture. Like, I expected to be there, go to the actual national park. But again, just it's funny how things just pop up. Like, when you see them over and over, they just pop up in your realities, one way or the other. Next one was riding like a motorbike in Thailand, which is so funny because looking at this picture, I had ridden on a motorcycle once before in my life before getting here. Now I feel like an expert. And now I'm actually starting to drive my own motorbike, which is so cute. I've just been like trial and erroring, like figuring it out for now. But that's been awesome. I've really enjoyed that. Something I never expected myself to do. Next one we have a picture of Louisiana. One of my good friends that I met here is from Louisiana. Definitely want to meet her at some point, but did not make it out there this year. Next one is teaching kiddos in Thailand, which obviously I have been doing, which is so exciting. And fun fact again, I wanted to teach secondary students. My picture randomly ended up being of younger students. And funny enough, I was placed in K1 with like the tiny, tiny 3 to 4 year olds. So funny again how like my mind was saying something, but vision board is how it actually happens. Next one, we have a picture of the beaches down south in Thailand that I wanted to visit. I'm going next weekend. So exciting. I'm actually going with boyfriend, which I'm so excited about. So that's one that transferred already its way into 2026. Then we have a little solo trip. Also want to transfer it for next year, or for this year, 2026. Doing a little solo like getaway trip, probably here in Thailand. Just take the weekend, go somewhere. I'm very excited to do that. Next one we have visiting LA. I try to visit LA at least once a year. I went twice this past year because my sister ended up getting engaged there. Beautiful, and she lives there. So yes, here we have our LA picture, stayed with her, definitely got to see that. And then we had a little addition of my flamingo, which is so cute. You guys know, if you don't know, watch my first ever YouTube video. I talk about how to manifest seeing a flamingo and how that started manifestation for me. When I started putting all of my thoughts into seeing a flamingo. So whenever I see a flamingo, me, my family, my boyfriend, anyone, because we're all about it, we always say, if you see a flamingo, you're in the right place. Like, whatever it is that you're doing, you're in the right place where you need to be. So with all of that being said, that was my entire vision board. Oh my goodness, I can't believe all the things that happened. I'm so grateful for everything that came true. So determined and grateful and excited for all the new things to come. And excited to share all the progress that happens next year. It's so exciting for this year, 2026. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that it inspired you. You can make your dreams come true at any time. Leave it to the universe. You do not. Vision boards are mindset and action, like I always say about everything. You don't have that mindset, it's going to be hard, and it's not supposed to be hard. That's not what manifestation is. And if you only have mindset and you never take actionable steps to achieve things, you're also going to be missing out on half of the good stuff. So much of it lies in the action part too. So use it together and build your dreams and make them come true. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you next week. Bye!